floga, facing over. You a queen when I less than I'm a gozy. Owamie, Owamie. Owamie, Owamie. Owamie, Owamie. Owamie, Owamie. Hey, hey. Girl, you're such a powerful woman.
Hi my ninjas, how are you doing? It's your girl Owamie, aka Miss Fearful, bringing back for our entertainment. If it's the first time you're doing me, I was definitely welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love you, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. It's at boldly Owamie. First of all, I want to go ahead and apologize. I know it's in the middle of the week. The videos are coming late because we're actually doing production shoot today for Mumpandi Studios. So yeah, we've been doing that since morning. And also I forgot what else I wanted to say. Oh, To Hell and Back season 2 episode 1 is actually out. I'm so happy season 2 is finally back. So please do go to Boldly Owamie and watch that episode. It's quite interesting. I do have to say so myself. I have to say so myself. Okay. Now today, my ninjas, we're going to talk about Anele Tembe. We're going to talk about AKA, and we're also going to talk about her father, right? I think his name is Moses Tembe, and the recent interview that he actually had. Now, if you follow my channel, you know that I'm not really following the case of AKA, you know, and the reason for that is just because for me, I just feel like we all saw the footage. That nigga had butt for days. And I've not seen anybody that is packing like that. But they're telling me that the trigger plays the bonane. Just anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this. So I'm gonna read this from Chriselda Zozi, that is on Twitter, who said, exclusive Anele Tembe hashtag AKA the first ever wide-ranging exclusive interview. Moses Tembe, the father of the late AKA's fiance and late Anele Tembe, speaks to me on the 3rd anniversary of his daughter's death and the long wait for answers on how her body came to be found on the ground from the 10th floor of a Cape Town hotel. He tells, we wanted AKA in the box as either a witness or a suspect. I object to anyone saying Kenan killed our daughter. The evidence at the inquest into her death will tell us exactly what happened. Our hearts are shattered and gutted. To see my daughter on TV covered in foil was traumatic. At the time, I knew she wasn't stripped naked and throw herself down. At the time, we expected a prosecution. Police never approached him regarding AKA's death and blames the NPA in the Western Cape for delaying in the resumption of the inquest into Anele's death. So they're saying that obviously the interview did air on the SABC News and all that. In all honesty, I mean, a lot of people actually have a lot to say, right? There's different opinions about the situation, and I think that it's actually worse of the fact that AKA unfortunately also passed away, right? He was gunned down in Durban, which is where Anele Tembe actually comes from. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give you guys my opinion when it comes to this whole situation. I personally, and I know that this is something that a lot of people may not agree with me, but I personally do believe that, you know, he literally has a right to wanna know what happened to his child. He has a right. The Tembe family has a right to know what happened to their daughter, you know. And yeah, the only person that last saw their daughter alive was AKA. So I think that for people to expect them to just say, oh, because AKA was super mega, they should not want to know or even bring his name into it. That's craziness. Like, you literally, you lot are bonkers. Like, is you on drugs? What's happening, you know? Because every single parent has a right to know what happened to their child. If I was the Tembe family, I also would not understand. I remember AK even went to that horrible interview that we were confused. We watched, or rather, well, me, myself, and I, after watching that interview, guys, I was even just more confused. Like, okay, what happened? Do you understand? Like, okay, what? It was really just, it was a mess for me, So I do believe that the Tembe has a right to want to know what happened to their daughter. And him saying that he would like AKA to have gone to the stand and get questioned, I feel like that literally, like, he has a right. And I also wished that had happened, because, okay, fine, you're saying that there was a time that I actually saw the allegations saying that her fingerprints were never found by the balcony. So obviously that would insinuate that she never had to, like, hold on for her to jump. Then did she throw herself? Like, how was she thrown? You understand? It did leave many questions. And so I do wish that they had done that investigation. He had been questioned, and perhaps maybe when he's being examined, right, and questioned, then his innocence would have been proven. Because, okay, if you've got all answers, all angles are covered, then what is the reason why anybody or anyone's family would actually come out and actually say that you did something? You understand? Now, in that, he did say that, he's not saying that AKA did anything or took his daughter's life. But, those are the allegations, obviously. He's just simply saying that he would have wanted him to go on the box so that they can also best understand what exactly happened to their daughter, which is very much understandable, right? Yeah. As a father, I'm sure that was very traumatic to see your daughter actually covered in foil. And in the interview, you could see that, he was sitting, and at the back, it was saying Anele Tembe Library. So I don't know if maybe they sponsored or whatever happened, but the Tembe family are very, very rich, right? I think that the other thing that I'm going to go ahead and say here is Anele Tembe was just too young for AKA. AKA had no business literally dating a child that young. He had been up and down playing with DJs in his heart. He had been up and down over there doing whatever he was doing with Bo Bonang. Those are old women, not old, but women of age. They can handle a heartbreak. They can handle what I'm with this super mega. They can handle what I'm with this and that. But he went out there, he got a poor little child who, by what the father is saying, seems like had no substance abuse problem, which again, we do not even know if she did, right? We do not even know. But we know that after she passed, all of a sudden, all these violent videos are coming out. One where AKA is crawling literally through the door, a broken door. The other one, Anele has destroyed everything. And he himself is taking a video and talking of some, if ever this has to go to the court, the judge will see. Like, nigga, you could have just left that little child alone. You could see that she's not mentally coping. She's not mentally handling being with you. And it was not the first time that she attempted to jump, allegedly. There's a time that they're saying that sorry, I still have a bit of a cough. They're alleging that she had attempted to jump in Durban. So, like, at what point had AKA actually not felt like, okay, this is time for me to bounce? Because with some of you guys, like, you think, it's cute. It's not cute. It's not cute. If you're with someone that is suicidal and maybe you're the reason or part of the reason, then leave. There was a video literally where she was screaming, "You don't know what she's been doing to me. You don't know what he's been doing." Like, that's the time you as an adult to take charge and leave. I feel like it was just such senseless that two people passed. Do I think that AKA's death is also connected to Anele's whatever? I really do. I'm not saying that the Tembe family did anything, but what I'm saying is that I don't think they just targeted him. Whoever targeted him, I feel like it had something to also do with Anele, because Anele was from Durban. So I don't think it was a coincidence that that's where he lost his life, and in that violent manner, because it's not like they were trying to rob him. If you guys actually could just see the video, you could see that there was nothing that was taken. Nothing was even intended to being taken. Literally not even his phone. It was his life that they were actually after. So I do just feel like, had it been that he had continued to just play with older women or women that are more matured, that man will still be alive. That's personally me. And I know that is such a painful issue, obviously, especially also for AKA's family, which would be very much understandable. His passing is very much recent. He passed away a year ago. Anele Tembe passed away 3 years ago now. And so it's just wild that by the time it was 3 years, they were all gone, both of them, you know. And so yeah, it's quite crazy. It really honestly is quite crazy. If you know that, you know, you live a certain life and maybe whatever, like, be very careful with the type of partners that you actually pick, because yeah, some people are not as some people won't just close their eyes. They won't, you know. And so it's really quite sad, but I do feel like, you know, I didn't watch the whole interview, obviously, but I do feel like Anele Tembe's father has a right to can actually want to know what exactly happened to his daughter. I, as a stranger, watched that interview that AKA did, and I do not even want to lie to you guys, even till today. I can't tell you like that I understood what he actually said. And obviously that guy Barkmang Vusi, I think, is it his name, Tembe something, I don't think he's the best interviewer in the planet. His questioning, unless if maybe they told him you can't ask this, you can't ask that, I felt that it was very flat. That's for me. I just felt like we couldn't even get anything, and I felt like there was a lot of questions that were not even answered, a lot of follow-up questions that I felt like would have been necessary that were not followed. But a prosecutor, they know which questions to ask, they know how to ask, and so you might find that maybe all the doubts that people had when it came to AK and what happened would have been cleared at that particular time. Now, as I said, this is quite a very sensitive issue because AKA recently passed away as well, and again in the way that he did. But at the end of the day, stay away from kids. You lot need to stay away from kids. You rappers, you whatever, stay away from them babies. They're still too young. Their minds are not developed enough to can be with you guys, okay? Go to women that are fully matured, women that know how to think for themselves, women that will be able to get a hold of their emotions. Because after she passed, there was just so many things that were happening, man, that allegations were coming up to say she did this, she did that. Where, like, I think that traces of the fact that this child was not handling that relationship was there. You know? So, hey, I don't know, Shem, but all I can say is that may they both rest in peace, Shibabam, okay? Anyway, do go ahead and comment down below what you guys think of this whole situation. Did you watch the interview and what did you think of it? From Owamie, I love you guys. Stay blessed. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next upload. Bye, ninjas.